Hey, my friend, this is Stone. I hope you're having a great day today, and I hope your week is starting off right. I am chilling on the couch right now, drinking my coffee, because I want to talk to you about how to relax with a driven life. And some people may think the two are antithetical to each other, to be driven and push forward and get things done, and then to also just be able to relax and take things easy and be able to chill. And those of us who have made the transition from one to the other, and for me that was a very long and arduous process, but those of us who have made the transition know the truth. And the simple truth is this: if you want to sustain a driven life, then you have to be able to get your stuff together, and you've got to be able to be in the calm of the storm that is your driven life. And so when we watch this video, we're going to talk about your identity and really help you to assess what kind of person are you, so that you can make little tweaks, little changes in order to start living a more stress-free life. And then we're really just going to give you some tools to help you to get organized to really help that process along. So if you haven't already, go to stonejordan.info and subscribe. You'll get the blueprint in your inbox every week, and sometimes some other goodies. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope it helps you to de-stress. Have a great day today. All right, so how do we live a life where we're driven, but yet we're able to relax and not let all this stuff be mushed around in our head and just be able to take it easy? Well, there's really 3 steps to do this. Some of these are going to be very quick, and they're things that you can do to make instant changes, these ideas, and then other things deal with mastery, things that you do and you continue to grow in throughout your life. But if you follow these 3 steps, it will definitely put you on that path to live a life that's more relaxed. So number 1 is that you need to assess your productivity or work identity. Now, what do I mean by that? And I'll give examples in the form of animals, okay? So you've got, number 1, you've got the headless chicken, okay? Now, the headless chicken, the idea of the headless chicken comes from you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. If you've heard that quote, now that has special meaning to me, because I had the sweetest, nicest, kindest grandma. But when we went over to her house and we needed chicken, okay, she went out to the chicken coop, she got a chicken, she cracked that neck with her bare hands and threw it on the ground. Now, tough woman. What was interesting about that is after that chicken was dead, for a long time, that sucker was flopping around on the ground with its neck snapped, okay? So the idea of running around like a chicken with your head cut off, okay, that's in reality, people, and I've seen it firsthand. But what it makes me think of how people run around being just busy, 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 and not really putting a whole lot of thought into organizing that and prioritizing it and doing the things that are most productive. So I kind of look at that person who's the headless chicken as a person that says to themselves, this is their identity: I am busy, therefore I have value. That's the first kind of person. I am busy, therefore I have value. Okay, number 2 is what I call the proud lion. And I was watching a nature show once, and it just amazed me that this lion was with its pride, and it was, like a lion family, and it was just kind of yawning, laying there in the sun, taking it easy, kind of watching over the pride. And it was just enjoying life and relaxing. However, when it was time to hunt, okay, that lion was focused, eye of the tiger, right? It knew exactly what it needed to do. All of its energy was focused on that one thing, and it got it done, okay? It had clearly defined 2 different things that it needed to do, and it was all there during that time. Now, this type of person has the identity that I am fulfilling my purpose, therefore I have value. Okay, now these 2 different identities, I am busy, therefore I have value, and I am fulfilling my purpose, therefore I have value. The sentences aren't that different, but they are a world apart, aren't they? 2 completely different identities. And I look at the person who has that first identity, I'm busy, therefore I have value, and you've heard this, Somebody might say, oh man, I am just so busy. I have so much to do. I can't even stop to breathe. And they say it in a negative way, but really it's worn like a badge of honor. Okay, you know what I'm talking about? Not with you, but with other people, right? Not something you would ever do. But it's worn like a badge of honor. And it's embedded, really, that, okay, to be really busy means that I have value, means I'm worth something. Okay, we've got to get out of that trap, because that is just one little thing that compels you to just be busy for the sake of being busy, to be the headless chicken. So that's really number one. You have to decide, am I more like the headless chicken, or am I more like the proud lion? And just having that conscious knowledge gives us intentionality to move forward and move away from that. That's number one, assess your work identity. And then number two, so when you've assessed your work identity, you need to decide how many major areas of growth do you have in your life? How many common denominator areas are there? And I have done this workshop before where I will ask people to list the common areas, and it's interesting to watch. Some people have very few. Those people tend to be people that just naturally in life are very peaceful. Some people have a lot. In fact, some people take a lot of pride in having 11, 12, I think one time 15 different major areas of life that they're always working towards. Again, there's pride in that busyness. Now, when you talk about major areas of life, I give the example of what I call the 7 F's of life, which are kind of common denominators you can kind of use as guides. And they're faith, family, friends, fitness, finance, fulfilling career, and fun. Okay, just common denominator areas most of us want to be growing and making progress in throughout our lives. Here's the thing. If you look at these different areas and you have more than 10, then you need to be honing these areas of life with disciplined pursuit, because that's not something that's going to change overnight. You need to make it a point to do that. And in the blueprint, I'm actually giving you a 7-day challenge that really breaks down how to do that. But for the sake of now, you need to be honing that down to less than 10. I started out at one time with 9. It went from 9 to 8, from 8 to 7, and I'm at 7 right now. And that's been over about a 2-year period, actually, to go from 9 to 7. Not that big of a difference in categories, but huge in the repercussions of my life, right? What it has done for my life. So that's really number two, is you need to be in disciplined pursuit of the different areas that you're trying to grow in your life. And then finally we get to number three. Once you've determined what work identity you have, once you've determined that you're going to have disciplined pursuit in the areas of life that you work in, you go to number three, that is schedule it, decide when you're going to do what, and be all in. This is when you get down to practicality, okay? This is when you say, I'm going to work on this at this time and this on this time, and never the twain shall meet. I'm going to be focused. And I think back to whenever I first started my business and I was just really going. And it was just, I was like a chicken with my head cut off. And I would come home and all that stuff would be running around in my head because I didn't have any clear, definite times, right, for these different areas of my life. And it affected my presence with my wife. It affected the presence of me being present with the people around me. So you really schedule it and you are all in. You remember that lion? Okay, it's all in one way or the other, man. It's focusing all of its energy in one place. So really, number one is you need to assess what your work identity is. Number two is that you need to really be in disciplined pursuit of honing your categories of life. And then number three is you decide what you're going to do when and be all in. If you start working on these things, really you can see drastic change tomorrow, especially if you download the blueprint, and you'll continue to see that change in mastery throughout your life. Let me tell you, as someone who's on the other side, being able to relax, even though you're a high achiever, it allows you to sustain being driven, and you get more done in the long run anyway. It's so much easier. So I hope that you find that helpful. Download the blueprint. Leave a comment below if you're somebody who's made that transition to the other side. Let me know what it is that you do to have a driven life, small or large. Contribute to the other people who have not made that leap across the chasm yet. And let me just say, remember, my friend, this week is a gift, so do two things with it. Be purposeful and productive. Thank you so much. Go get him this week, and we'll talk to you next time.